joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be addressing an issue. A number of you have watched my previous videos, especially the videos I did last week. I addressed the global economy, and some of you have asked me, Pastor Reno, what shares should we buy? Now, before I respond to that, you guys have to remember that I will never approach you guys in the comment sections of my videos. I do not have a WhatsApp for a Telegram channel or a Gmail email address. I won't give you any phone number and I don't collect monies from you. A number of people have seen that my videos tend to go viral, and these are scammers and spammers. And they've duped a number of people, and it breaks my heart because I'm the apostle of prosperity, and I don't want people to lose money. And I've said this, I say this at the end of all my videos, so perhaps I have to start saying it at the beginning. Now, going back to your question, you see, what stocks should you buy, especially if you want to make money next year? Now, I need to explain to you something to you. What I'm giving you right now, it's my opinion. It's not financial advice, but you guys know my reputation. I've been pretty accurate. If you watch all my videos, you see how accurate I've been. It's not for me to evaluate myself, but I've been pretty accurate. Right now, the world, especially Europe, I would say the world is going through a storm, but Europe is going through a perfect storm. So you see that before the Russia-Ukraine war, which began in February, you see that Europe was already feeling that the impact of the supply chain crisis in the United States. And I've said it before, when the United States sneezes, Europe catches a cold. And then the Russia-Ukraine war came in. And to just give you some perspective, you have to understand that Russia and the rest of the European Union are linked by a number of trade agreements. So first and foremost, the gas that heats up a lot of Europe, a whole chunk of Europe, places like Germany, the Czech Republic, and other parts of Europe, a lot of the gas that heats them up during the winter comes from Russia. Former President Trump warned them about that, but because Trump was an eccentric, a lot of people, there's actually a video of German leaders laughing. But right now, the chickens have come home to roost. And so that's affecting the European economy because Germany is the biggest economy in Europe. And so when this kind of thing affects them, it affects everybody. And then beyond that, you're also having other issues because a lot of these countries, they buy crude oil from Russia. So it's affecting their economies. And you have to understand that the economy, it's like a domino. If something affects this, it falls on this and then falls on that. And then that domino effect, ripples through. So right now, what we're seeing is that in the European Union and also in England, so in continental Europe and in England, there's a slowing down of the economy. Some countries are facing recession. I'll give you a very good example. Now in the United Kingdom, their currency has been devalued to one of its lowest levels ever in the last 50 years. So if you wanted to change, right now the rate for pound sterling and dollar is about 1.1. So it used to be about 1.4. Now it's 1.1. So what that means is that it's shared about 33% of its value. And if you want to transfer money from England to the United States, you're not even going to get that 1.1. You're probably going to get 1.07. If you have a lot of money, the bank can offer you 1.08 because that 1.1 is the rate that they get from the Bank of England. So whatever they're going to give to you has to be lower than that. So the pound has fallen, lost a lot of value, and then the euro has fallen. So for the first time since its existence, the euro became a one-on-one parity with the dollar. So 1 euro is equals to $1, or the dollar is slightly more. So we see that it's having an effect on the banking sector in Europe and in the United Kingdom. So for instance, the biggest bank in Europe, that would be Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank has lost a lot of its value in the stock market. So right now, the shares of Deutsche Bank are really affordable, and so I encourage you, buy Deutsche Bank shares. And not just Deutsche Bank, there's another bank also, Credit Suisse. Generally, you want to buy stocks of European banks, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse, BNP Paribas, Royal Bank of Scotland, like that. So at the top of the pyramid, you're going to get Deutsche Bank. Now let me just give you some perspective. Um, Deutsche Bank has been facing some issues because of all what I've been telling you about. And then I think some months ago, a Capital Group in the United States sold about $1.7 billion worth of their stock, Deutsche Bank stock. And then it triggered, like a run in the market. So their stocks have been going down. A similar thing happened to Credit Suisse. But then, it might seem to you, I mean, you might say, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. I've got to get my money out. I'm not even going to buy their stock. You got to you got to put it into perspective. Deutsche Bank controls about $2 trillion worth of assets. So, I mean, somebody selling $1.7 billion dollars worth of their stock, it's really like nothing. However, people with money in the stock market, like they tend to be very jittery. So they look for signs. And so when you sell $1.7 billion dollars worth of stock, yeah, it's going to affect the stock price. And also, Deutsche Bank has gone down tremendously year over year. It's gone down, I think more than 40%. Same thing with Credit Suisse and then a number of European banks. I believe they're going to bounce up and they're going to bounce back big time next year. And so it's like maybe you're seeing like a store, like a boutique, and then the clothes there are on sale. That's what's happening right now with bank shares, European bank shares. So I will encourage you, buy them. So my big favorites will be Deutsche Bank, and then Credit Suisse, and then going down the list, other European banks. Now, I know this is quite a mouthful I've given you. It's a mouthful, and you might have some questions. So what I'll encourage you, put your questions in the comment section of my videos, and then I'll do my best to respond to them. Now, my name is Reno Mokri, the Apostle of Prosperity, saying God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is